Hi everyone. Today I must tell you that I woke up really scared. I had a terrible nightmare, and I'm so happy that it was just a nightmare. Because in this nightmare, the world was full of intellectual whores. You just imagine there was lots and lots of men and women who were selling their minds and their dignity to people who would give them lots of money for that. And the intellectual whores were ruling the world everywhere, ruling big companies and governments and countries and the armament industries and oil businesses and banking and all that. And well, they were damaging stuff because they were not very good at it, and they were not ruling things according to common sense or to real science or to honesty. They were just ruling things according to money and to whoever paid them a lot of money. And there were some evil people doing that. And that's, you just imagine that those intellectual whores, they were all very ugly and nasty and smelly and all that. Well, fortunately, I woke up and I understood it was just a nightmare, because in reality, grown-ups, and I still feel like someone very small, grown-ups are very good and nice people, and they are doing their best to help us all children in our world and in our living. And so there is not that much to worry about. Also, I understand that it's exactly when I was really a very young child. Grown-ups were protecting me from fear. They didn't tell me about their grown-up stuff and what was worrying them, because I would just be too scared about it. And they gave me toys so I could play with them and and grow progressively without worrying too much. And now they are sort of doing the same thing, because I'm just too small and I'm a bit scared about this big world of ours. And so they help me uh, occupy myself. They give me some toys also, so I can play and forget about the big troubles of the grown-ups. And for instance, they invented a game. It's a very nice one. That is the put on the mask, take off the mask, put on the mask, take off the mask. This is a very interesting game because all of us play a lot with this. And the good news is it doesn't get too boring because they change the rules. The places where we have to put the masks or take them off, they keep changing a lot. And we also get to wear different kinds of masks with different colors, and it's great fun. Also, they are now giving us electric cars, so we can play a lot with those cars, and they have lots of bright colors. They are very beautiful, and with the electric cars, we can play a lot. Well, sometimes they might run out of batteries easily, mostly if we sort of accelerate too much. But aside from that, they are great fun. And as we play with those games and with those toys, we don't have to worry about grown-up stuff. And it's really scary out there. It's good that we keep playing, because once I did this mistake, I was curious. I was peeking a little bit about what was happening with grown-ups. And I saw that there was lots of deserts growing in the planet. We were lacking trees, and the ground was getting poisoned, and pollution was constantly growing with the masks and plastics, and the oceans were suffocating. The poor little fish were dying a lot all over the place. Lack of oxygen and lack of sunshine and all that. And of course, I got scared, and I saw even other things. For instances, uh, it looked like the big cargo ships that keep crossing the oceans, and the big airplanes, the cargo airplanes, and the touristic ones, they are all the time polluting a lot more than cars and ground transportations. And the pollution is huge, and lots of animals and species were dying everywhere. And there was wars, people killing each other, and there was lots of messy stuff all over. And people were even dying with famine and land drying. And was awful. But fortunately, I know grown-ups, they are going to solve everything. For instance, I thought as a child, I had this fantasy that perhaps it would be a very good idea to start planting lots of trees all over the planet, or to invest a lot more in growing nice plants for us to eat in plenty of ground in many countries. But grown-ups are not doing that, and they know better because they are big and they are smart. And so grown-ups are going to solve everything for us, and we just don't need to worry about it. And we might grow peacefully because we'll get a nice planet for us to play around later on. Of course, some grown-ups, they also are giving they give us very nice objectives, something to work towards, something to have in mind as we grow. For instance, they tell us that it's good to be thin and beautiful and rich and powerful. That's the right kind of purpose for us all, because lots of grown-ups, they are there. They are exactly doing that. They are powerful and rich and thin and sort of beautiful, and they know everything. Of course, I also saw some grown-ups that seem to believe that a good purpose is to become an intellectual whore. But I'm not really sure about it, but perhaps they might be even right. Who knows? They know so many things. So this is what I wanted you to know for the time being. If anyway you feel like that, you might subscribe the channel.